Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mastery Monday. This is episode number 2, where every Monday I'm going to talk to you about some of the biggest skill gaps that we're seeing in the market working with sales teams, so you can literally finish this video and go and implement them yourselves. And this week I want to talk to you about business cases. This is a massive opportunity for sales reps to explode their win rate. So grab yourself a pen and paper and let's get into it. So what I'm going to be covering today is the mistakes that you want to avoid when trying to build cost justification. I'm going to take you through the business case itself, and then I'm going to give you an exercise at the end so you can actually start to apply and implement this content and this training. So one of the things that we're all seeing a lot of is CFOs are getting involved, or finance are getting involved in a lot of decision making, not just enterprise anymore, but a lot lower down in the deal sizes that we're operating in. And what I'm seeing is a lot of CFOs are asking for a business case from your champion. And in some reports, you'll find up to 90% of CFOs will request a cost justification document, which is like a 1 to 2 page business case to get budgets or budget approval. And one of the things I'm just seeing is so many reps are just leaving money on the table because they're expecting their champion to go and do all the heavy work for them. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that we're seeing. So let's kick this off with the first few mistakes. Is I'm still seeing reps email over pricing. By the way, I made all of these mistakes earlier in my career, so I'm happy to admit that. So emailing over bullet point pricing. So hey Sarah, thanks for our time today. Here's our enterprise pricing plan, 75 users, £50 per user, etc., etc. Like, sounds crazy. People are still doing that. That is not very helpful for your champion. They need to go and drive consensus. You need to help them go and do that. I'm still seeing people pull together these massive, huge pitch decks. And the problem is when you put so many slides in, we all know the pricing is at the bottom. So we just scroll to the very bottom, and there could be value in those slides that you're actually sharing. But because I don't have the time or attention, I just scroll to the bottom. What's the cost? I then don't have the context, and then I reject it. And again, that's a big killer for a lot of sales reps and their commissions. And then the other mistake, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but they're expecting their champion to do all of the work, to do all of the selling. And sometimes this could be the very first time your champion is going through this process, right? So we need to really enable them to go and do it. Just like you need enabling to go and do this, they need enabling to go and drive consensus across 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 people, depending on the size of the organization and the price point that you're selling, okay? So try and avoid some of those mistakes. Now, the business case itself, you do not build this alone. So don't now go and take this and say, oh, I need to stop my PowerPoint next. I need to build a 1 or 2 page business case and I need to build it, because that's another mistake. Okay, your job is to co-create the business case. I can't remember the metric, but there's a huge win rate lift when a champion edits and updates positioning and content on the business case. So you should be building this with them. I've been doing it for 6-7 years now, and I always get them on a call and I help them build it and we work together on it. It's a partnership. Okay, this isn't just for new logos. Yeah, we're seeing customers, we do it ourselves on expansion and renewal opportunities. It's a justification process. We want to justify our cost. We want to ask for a lot of money. We need to be able to justify it. Business case is really helpful for us to do it, okay? You can do it on 1 or 2 pages. Yes, you can use digital sales rooms for this, but I've been using Google Docs as well. Works really well. We've closed like large financial service businesses using a Google Doc. So you can do that as well. I'd recommend starting with the basics, nail the basics, then incorporate technology and some other different ways of doing it. Now, with the business case, strong hooks are so important. Just like marketing, when they write copy, they have to sell you on every line. You need to do the same thing. If you Google what's the average attention span in 2025, it's like 8.25 seconds, down from 12 seconds a couple of years ago. So if you want to grab somebody's attention and help build confidence to allocate money to your initiative, you're going to have to hook them. Otherwise, if that document doesn't, again, they'll scroll to the bottom where the price is and not have the context. So you need to make sure that it's really strong in terms of its hooks, not just once, continuously rehooking them with value. And again, we've got all of the content to support that in terms of the frameworks you can use. It should flow like a story. So at the top, like, what's the negative consequence for not doing something, or what's that cost of inaction? Then the executive summary, clearly articulate the problem, but most importantly, the root cause issue, like what's actually causing this problem to exist. I was listening to a CFO on a podcast a while ago, and the CFO said, as long as we can articulate and demonstrate we're solving the actual problem, I don't mind creating money for it. It's when I don't believe we're actually solving the real problem is when I start to challenge people and then I start to reject things. So make it really clear in there what the problem is and what the actual root cause issue is to solve to give them that confidence. Next part, very small but very clear description of the plan. How are you actually planning on solving for those things above without it being a 50-page pitch deck? Okay. And then finally, end that with measurement. So here's our problem. Here's how we're going to solve it. This is what you can expect. These are key business metrics, outcomes that they want to generate. That could be win rate, time to close. You've got on the left-hand side the metrics, the actual and the target and the value to the business as a result. So win rate, actual 18%, target 25%. This is how much extra revenue that's going to unlock. You can do this for cybersecurity, HR tech, financial services, whatever it is that you're selling. You have to get into discovery to uncover this stuff. Every business buys stuff for an outcome. If you don't know what they are, you've just not done the kind of heavy lifting. And then finally, we want some evidence. What's our proof? If we want to make big, bold claims, we need evidence. So we're going to need proof points, micro stories, links out to, proper full-blown case studies, that kind of stuff, and validate some of that with references. So when you open up the business case, if you can't fill 80% of that business case out following your very first discovery call, you're probably moving too fast and it's costing you deals. Okay. So that's the kind of the business case. Again, if you need any content or resources on this, just reach out. Now, I wanted to leave you with an exercise to actually help you implement this. So what I want you to do is this next. Open up your calendar and make an hour's block somewhere for today or later this week, and then pick 2 critical deals that you want to close this quarter and start writing out the business case. What's that really compelling headline that's going to hook an executive with low attention span? Feature some kind of value in there. What's the problem they're facing and what is causing that problem to exist? Be really clear and specific there. How are you planning on solving it, and what are the metrics you're going to use to validate we are starting to solve this problem? And can you do it in 1, maximum 2 pages? If you can't, this could be a skill gap that you've identified that you need to go and work on, which we've all got them. Go and figure it out. Give me a shout if you need some help. So pick 2 critical deals, write the business case. Step 3, arrange a call with your champion and start to take them through that business case, but then help them plug the gaps and rewrite or update some of the positioning, and then work with them and agree upon a time where the both of you can actually present that business case to an economic buyer and ask for budget to be created for the initiative. So hope that was helpful, guys. Really enjoy business case. It's one of my favorite topics to teach because it incorporates so many different selling skills and key areas of the sales process just to make that document really compelling. If you do a good job of that, me personally, I've seen up to 70, 80% win rates. Happy to share proof points. A lot of the teams that we work with now have got massive win rates because they're building really strong cost justification. Just don't see it happening a lot. So take action today. Start incorporating them into your sales process. I promise you'll start earning a lot more money. Thanks for sticking with me to the very end. I hope you got some value from this session. And if you haven't joined our free sales training app, go do it now. There's loads of free training resources like this. There's a link on my profile somewhere to go grab it, or just drop me a DM. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday for our next episode of Mastery Monday. Have a great week ahead.